North Carolina has an incredibly deep history in aviation, and certainly a big piece of that is the Wright brothers. It was 1903, they were able to lift off and maintain flight, and as some have said, it's 12 seconds that changed the world. 115 years later, it's amazing to think about where we're at.
In 2013, our legislature started focusing on how we could integrate drones into the state. And they needed a group to really spearhead that integration. The natural place for it to fall was in the Department of Transportation.
Education and training are a key focus for Division of Aviation, and that is where we partnered with NC Public Safety Drone Academy.
We offer a host of large scenario-based classes, so we'll actually take firemen, law enforcement, search and rescue, and put them in real-life scenarios.
Everything on the truck exists in order to save a life and help somebody on their worst day. We've been flying drones at the Wake Forest Fire Department for about 4 years. The number one goal of the drone at a public safety scene is to provide some sort of actionable intelligence that would not otherwise be obtained.
We got involved a few years ago to integrate drones into what we do with the Highway Patrol, which is collision reconstruction.
The traditional methods would have been tape, wheel measurement devices, lasers or LiDAR scanners.
The whole process to map a crash would take anything between 3 to 5 hours.
Having the drone in the vehicle allows me to get to work right away.
We can get a scene mapped in less than 30 minutes, and we can open up the roads in less than an hour.
Our environmental analysis unit has been able to use drones for herbicide spraying.
So before we were able to use drones, we had to do traditional methods. It meant a large number of people, a large number of man hours. Use of drones has definitely made the job safer with less effort.
Another use that the environmental analysis unit is able to use drones for is assessing wetlands or other sensitive areas around construction projects.
We're monitoring subaquatic vegetation to make sure that we're not doing any damage to it. Before we had drones, our environmental unit would monitor these areas by hand, which was very tedious and it was a long process. So we said, well, you know, why don't we put drones in the hands of our environmental unit, let them take them out and launch them off boats and collect this data.
We embarked on a project to see how drones could be incorporated into airport inspections. They're looking at the pavement, lighting, obstructions like trees or anything off the ends of the runway in the approaches. It's more efficient, it's more effective.
After aviation, the second most largely used mode of transportation is our rail.
They were usually driving 10, 20 miles down the rail at one time and filming with a film camera out in front of the windshield. So we saw this happening, so we said, you know, why can't we launch a drone? We drive down the railway, we get a wider picture of the rail so they can look at the railroad tracks and railroad ties and see if there's any damaged areas.
A common occurrence in our state are tropical storms or hurricanes.
Usually one of the big problems with hurricanes in North Carolina is the amount of flooding that we get.
We're able to use drones to help with rapid assessment of damage to our infrastructure.
We're always looking for how to leverage newer technologies and newer tools to help get things done faster, cheaper, safer. And I know how hard we've worked to push the envelope and leverage and show what these things can do. Drones in the future of these tools and this technology is going to surpass what manned flight has done. In fact, sometimes when you stop and think, 115 years later, from 1903 and the very beginnings, it's remarkable to think about how aviation has evolved.
If the Wright brothers were here now, what would they think of aviation? I think they'd be amazed.
drone technology has evolved rapidly over the past decade. What was once a niche consumer hobby has become a trusted technology and an essential advantage for commercial and government entities around the world. DJI has developed a new hardware and software solution that allows government agencies to confidently use drone technology while keeping in accordance with stringent IT and data security requirements. We call it DJI Government Edition.
It actually allows us to tell our clients that all of their telemetry data, meaning where the drone is flying, is stored securely and not shared with anyone but them.
To government clients, data security is everything. They care greatly about the data that's captured on the drone itself, where it is downloaded, where it's to be managed and stored.
In developing a new solution for government use, the drone itself does not require activation with DJI and is shipped with custom firmware. This firmware prevents inadvertent or malicious data breaches by ensuring drones and their remote controllers will not pair with off-the-shelf components. A custom DJI Pilot Flight Control app has also been modified to permanently enable local data mode. This feature ensures data security by preventing any connection from the app to DJI servers.
Having Government Edition will allow us more control over that process, so avoiding automatic firmware updates that can potentially impact our operational schedule is important. It's also important to government customers.
Allowing the government to test their own firmware and navigate that directly is important because I think it fits into their overall protocol and compliance.
Have their IT security department screen the software before it goes onto the fleets. Once people start utilizing the technology, they want to infuse it as a whole into their organization.
The ability to collect high quality imagery everywhere, anywhere, I think is going to be very attractive for our customers and for government.
With this new Government Edition, we are addressing many of the challenges that off-the-shelf drone technology has presented, and it will allow governments and enterprises of all sizes and complexities to harness the true power of drone technology.
Every day, good people fight fire, save lives, and keep our world revolving, even in the toughest conditions. In times like these, nothing is more critical than being able to trust your team and your tools. Meet the new Matrice 300 RTK and ZenMuse H20 series. Together, they form the foundation for reinventing the world of work. The Matrice 300 RTK boasts a 55-minute flight time, 15-kilometer transmission range, improved reliability, superior flight performance, and powerful intelligent functions. For the first time ever, dual vision and TOF sensors appear on all 6 sides of the aircraft, providing the Matrice 300 RTK with the ultimate positioning and obstacle avoidance capabilities. Flight, navigation, and obstacle data are presented in the new primary flight display. This provides unprecedented situational awareness. A powerful flying platform requires an equally capable payload. By combining a wide-angle camera, 23 times optical zoom camera, thermal camera, and a laser rangefinder, the ZenMuse H20 series is the optimal match for the Matrice 300 RTK. The new UI lets you quickly scan an area with a wide-angle or thermal camera, preview a subject of interest, and then zoom in to confirm critical details, all with just 2 taps. Combining the intelligence of the Matrice 300 RTK and the versatility of the ZenMuse H20 series yields unprecedented productivity for your field operations. Minimize repetitive work by automating routine missions with AI Spot Check. You can mark objects of interest after a demo flight. Then the aircraft will replicate the position, angle, and framing automatically for future missions. Save time and get highly detailed imagery of a large area through high-res grid photos. Select an area of interest, then capture a set of photos with a long-range zoom camera, all with a single tap. In coordinated missions, it is essential yet challenging to synchronize aerial intelligence with ground and command teams. Use the pinpoint function to mark the subject of interest and instantly share the precise location data to your second operator or ground teams via DJI Flight Hub. With Smart Track, you can now automatically detect and track a moving object, even at extreme distances, while synchronizing the subject's dynamic location in real time. The advanced dual operator mode lets each operator obtain control of the aircraft or payload with a single tap. This creates new possibilities for mission strategies during operations. Efficiency doesn't stop with just software. Downtime is minimized by a hot swappable battery system that keeps power flowing without the need to reboot the aircraft. A new quick charging battery station allows for rapid recharging of 4 groups of flight and controller batteries, so you can keep operations going for as long as you need. If that's not enough, the Matrice 300 RTK platform supports up to 3 payloads simultaneously and 2.7 kilograms of total payload weight. Compatibility with DJI's developer tools means you'll have access to a variety of industry-specific solutions in the months and years to come. In a world that demands more, we've reimagined what it means for tools to be tough, reliable, and intelligent. The Matrice 300 RTK and ZenMuse H20 series, rewriting the standard for industrial UAV solutions.